Thanks for stopping by this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Jet Sports. I am Tyler Jones here with you. Happy Friday to you. We're talking about the NFL schedule release. Many of you were anticipating that we would have a schedule by now. We do not, but we have some rumblings, some rumors, if you will, on what the Seahawks schedule will look like for 2024. We will break it all down for you, tell you what we know in just a bit. Before we do, if you want the Seahawks schedule to come out early, if you want it to get leaked, and you better believe, if we get a full-on leak, we're going to do a whole video here on the channel. If you want that to happen, like the video. Do your part. Let's get the schedule leak out there. We love the leaks around here. Like the video, do your part. Let's get that schedule early, and we'll get started with today's show. So there has been one game that I wouldn't call this an official leak just yet. It hasn't been confirmed. But the Twitter account, or X account if you will, NFL Schedule Leaks 2024, has put out there that the Seahawks will host the Rams Week 2. Now, let me make this very clear. We cannot confirm this. This is not official, but this is one of the so-called leaks, if you will, that's out there, that Seattle could be facing the Rams Week 2. So that's one thing that's out there. Also, what is out there, Pro Football Network has put out a rumor that the Seahawks could be playing on Christmas. And you may be saying to yourself, wait a second, isn't Christmas this year on a Wednesday? Yes. Yes, it is. And to take it even a step further, there's been rumblings, according to Boomer Esiason, that the NFL is looking to have both Christmas games this year on Netflix. That would be the broadcast rights. Obviously, we would be live if the Seahawks play on Christmas with a watch party. But another streaming service airing NFL games, just exactly what we wanted to hear. And the matchup that's being rumored is the Arizona Cardinals. More on that in just a second. So kind of recap the rumors that are out there. Again, none of this confirmed. The Rams, Week 2, in a home game. And then the Niners, a few days prior on a Saturday before the Christmas game. That's how they're going to line this up. Whoever plays on Christmas will play on Saturday. And then a Wednesday game at the Arizona Cardinals on Christmas. Now, what has me skeptical on this is why would anyone schedule the Arizona Cardinals worthy to get to play on Christmas? That's a bit of a head-scratcher of why the Cardinals would get that luxury, if you will, to play on the birth of our Lord and Savior. I don't know about that one. That has me a little skeptical. I'm not a fan of the Saturday game and then turn around to play a few days later on Christmas. The idea that's being thrown out there is that they'll pick a division and that they'll flop the opponents essentially from Saturday to Wednesday in order to make this work. I don't like that, especially with the playoffs just a couple weeks away after that. Then things really get discombobulated and all that. You get out of your routine, your habits. You're not spending Christmas with your family. I don't feel great about this idea. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the Seahawks aren't playing on Christmas, but it's been thrown out there. We'll see. Should the Seahawks play on December 25th? What do you think? Y for yes, N for no. Do you want to spend Christmas at Looming Field? Well, I guess in this case it would be in Phoenix, in Glendale. That's even worse. Let me know what you think. Y for yes, N for no if the Seahawks should play on Christmas. We're bringing you up to the minute Seahawks coverage like no one else is here on Seahawks Today with daily news and rumors, our live shows every Wednesday. We're talking everything from mandatory minicamp to OTAs, training camp, everything you need to know about your Seattle Seahawks. It's all right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Stay up to date. Lock us in. Best part about it, doesn't cost you a thing. Absolutely 100% free. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. All right, so the primetime schedule. Who are the Seahawks likely to get in primetime matchups? I put a list together of the games that I think have a shot to be primetime games. You got to start off with the Detroit Lions. We have seen some incredible matchups the last couple of years between the Seahawks and Lions that were some of the best games in the entire season. And the Seahawks have won their last 3 games against Detroit. So I think that could be a lot of fun. Could be an offensive showdown with Detroit on the road. I'd love to see that in prime time. The Green Bay Packers, hopefully there's no replacement refs involved, like there was the infamous game several years ago. That's a possibility, I think, of getting Jordan Love and that Green Bay Packer team that actually had the same record as the Seahawks did in the regular season last year, a home game in Lumen Field. I think that's possible. The LA Rams, either one, the road game or the home game against Los Angeles, I think there's a possibility that could end up being a primetime game. I think same with San Francisco here, especially with just how big this rivalry has become, the classics that we've seen between these two teams, and the Niners being the reigning NFC champions. I think anytime you play a team of that caliber, that's got a shot at being a primetime game. Couple more that I think also have a chance. The Chicago Bears game, Shane Waldron going up against his former team, Caleb Williams against this Seattle Seahawks bunch. I think that's a possibility, kind of an outside chance. I wouldn't rule it out, though. The Atlanta Falcons also could be a possibility. The Falcons are an intriguing team. It's a road game. You're going cross-country. Cousins is there. They've really made some big improvements. I think that Atlanta team is going to be very good this year. That could be a fun matchup. And then the Buffalo Bills facing Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in football, making the cross-country trip from Buffalo to Seattle. We don't see these two teams get together too often. I think that's a possibility of being a primetime game. If I were to predict what ends up in prime time, and I'll tell you this, folks, I know most people don't know this, but I am a sports media guru, okay? I keep up with everything that goes on from the television front to the broadcasters very close. And so I'm going to put together my expertise to try to come up with the potential primetime matchups for the Seahawks, what I think will happen. And granted, I'm not saying this is going to, but this is just a straight-up prediction. Sunday Night Football, Seahawks, Lions, Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth in Detroit. I think that they want to put a Sunday night game in Detroit this year. To me, that's a matchup that makes sense. Monday Night Football, Joe and Troy, the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman and Joe Buck on the call. Monday Night Football, Seahawks and Niners. Feels like every year one of the games against the Niners ends up being a primetime game. We've seen this as a Thursday matchup the last couple of years. It was Thursday Night Football on Amazon 2 years ago. It was on Thanksgiving last year. Monday night, I think, feels right this time. And it seems like more times than not, the primetime game between these two teams ends up being the game that's in Seattle. A Thursday Night Football matchup, because everybody's got to play on Thursday Night Football at some point on Prime Video. I think that's where we get the Packer game. Seahawks and Packers on Thursday night from Lumen Field as my best guesses for the Seahawks primetime games. So in total, I have Seattle getting 3 primetime games this year. The NFL allows you to have 5 primetime games. And with the Seahawks not being picked to win their division by most of the experts, but not being picked to be a bad team either, 3 kind of feels right for what the expectations are for the Seahawks. Also, Seattle, a top 10 TV market, so that certainly helps when you're talking about getting those primetime games. And then think about this too. If the Seahawks play well, you could get flexed into more primetime matchups, as we saw last year when the Seahawks-Eagles game was flipped from a Sunday afternoon on Fox to Monday Night Football. We could see that happen down the line. So that, to me, is what I'm guessing is about 3 primetime matchups. How many primetime games will Seattle have this season? I'm thinking 3. How many do you think the Seahawks get in primetime? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Speaking of primetime, this guy's ready for primetime. Byron Murphy of your Seattle Seahawks, the Seahawks first-round pick. His jerseys are on sale now. He's going to be wearing number 91, so just take that jersey, add a 9 to it, and we have it on sale for you at chatsports.com/Murphy is where you can find yours today. We got the home jerseys. We got the road whites. We got men's and women's jerseys to choose from, all different sorts of shapes and sizes as well. Go see for yourself. You might stumble upon some free shipping as well. Chatsports.com/Murphy is where you can find these today. Get your Byron Murphy jerseys now. They're going hot. Now, we already know the matchups, right? We just don't know the dates of when these games are going to be played. And the fascinating thing for me is the quarterbacks. of the veterans the Seahawks are facing, every single one of them has either made a Pro Bowl or has won a playoff game in their careers. And they're facing all the top rookie quarterbacks this year more than likely as well. You're facing good quarterbacks almost every matchup this season in the National Football League. Let's go over those. You face Matt Stafford twice. He's a Super Bowl champion. You face Brock Purdy twice, who's coming off a Super Bowl appearance in his own right. Kyler Murray, you face twice. We already knew that, of course. Kyler Murray, the former number 1 overall pick. You got the game against Josh Allen. That should be fun. And then, how about Aaron Rodgers? Yes, Aaron Rodgers coming off that Achilles. We get to see him square off against the Seahawks. Kirk Cousins, the road game in Atlanta. You got Jared Goff coming off an NFC Championship game appearance. Jordan Love, who had a breakout year last year and was really good towards the final stretch, won that playoff game against Dallas. I think Jordan Love's going to have a nice year this year, folks. Tua, you face as well this year. Daniel Jones, say what you want about Daniel Jones. The guy has won a playoff game, though. And then the rookie quarterbacks. Caleb Williams, I think that Bears offense is going to be very dynamic. Shane Waldron calling the shots for that offense. They got a lot of weapons there. They should be fun. Drake May in New England there. I'm very high on Drake May. I thought he was a good fit, but they got a lot of holes on that Patriots team. J.J. McCarthy with the Minnesota Vikings. I would expect him to be the starter over Sam Darnold, and if not, initially, very quickly. Unless the Seahawks are playing Minnesota week 1, I think there's a pretty good chance they'll be facing JJ. And then Bo Nix with the Denver Broncos. Although I'm skeptical about Bo Nix, playing a rookie quarterback that was picked 12th overall sounds intriguing to me. Which Seahawks matchup are you most looking forward to in 2024? Of the opponents, which one has your eye? Let me know in the comments section. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. For continuing Seahawks coverage, follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, @Tyler Jones Live. The show never stops there. I'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.